We are on day 21 of doing our daily live meditations. So I just want to take a moment, first and foremost, to express my incredible gratitude that I have for this journey that I've been on of really showing up every single day and sharing the practice that has tremendously helped me to ground within my center and that has helped me to connect profoundly with myself. Of course, my journey has involved yoga to a really, really large extent, but that was definitely the beginning of my spiritual awakening and the beginning of my journey, which led to the meditations, which led to a deeper, stronger foundation in really connecting with myself and my spirituality. So we have the full moon in Libra tomorrow. I don't know if anyone else is feeling it, but just this entire time, I know that I'm personally experiencing another tremendous death in my psyche. So every single time this occurs, it goes a little bit deeper, and it really requires a special and profound attention, a special and profound level of paying attention to what is arising and all the information that is coming through the experience of this death of the psyche, death of an identity, death of what I believe that I knew or that I am. And it does take time to integrate this information. So I'm currently in the process of actively integrating this death experience that is profound, and it is profound every single time it does happen. So, for everyone who is going through this experience, I'm just sending you guys so much love. I know that it's not always easy because we reach a certain place and then everything begins to disintegrate, and then we're sort of in this void, and we have to build up again from this 0 point that we have come to. Thank you so much, Daniel. Blessings, brother. So, part of this integration is just sitting with what is, what we do every single day anyway, and really being open to the direction this death is leading us, really being open to the direction of the new rebirth that we definitely are not sure of where it's going to take us. Thank you so much. So it's really be about being open, about sitting with what is, and allowing for the natural unfoldment of our process. So during this death integration and during this entire experience, it feels like I'm being initiated into Gnosis. And this is a new term for me. All of these terms that stem from Christianity are very new to me, even though my grandfather from my mother's side was a priest, and this is where my roots are from. My roots are from Christianity. I never grew up with any religion. Religion was never talked about in my household. We never talked about God. So I kind of grew up, not really believing or not even considering this at all. And then I discovered yoga, and it was the first time that I really connected with something deeper. And wow, it was an amazing experience. And that was really my entry point into spirituality, was exploring the roots of yoga, was going to India. My twin flame is Indian. He grew up in a Hindu family, and really exploring this part of the world and integrating it into my spirituality. And then eventually letting all of that go and coming back to my own roots. So, what does that look like? And it has profoundly shifted for me um, in the last recent while. So, my spirituality is looking a lot different for me. I'm now in a space of probably since I came back to Canada of profoundly, which was like the end of February, so the last like month and a little bit, is connecting with the Christ and connecting specifically with Jesus Christ every single day. Every single day when I sit in my meditation, I actually experience this rapture where I'm being lifted up to the sky to join Jesus Christ in a sitting and in anointments and in meditations. And this is really what my spirituality is looking like at this time, is connecting with Jesus Christ and being receptive to receiving the teachings that are flowing down through him, and being receptive to allowing him to guide my journey and guide my path. So this like really looks completely different than anything that I've ever experienced before in my life. And this is the beautiful thing about life, is that we go through these stages and that we don't need to necessarily hold on to any one specific thing that worked for us at any given time. It's really about evolving and allowing parts of yourself to die, and having this profound gratitude for all of our experiences, but eventually going with the flow and sort of surrendering to the will of God, surrendering to something that is bigger than us, that can lead the way, and not being so, I don't want to say stuck, but not being, yeah, maybe stuck is the right word, not being stuck in the ways that have worked for us previously, because we're continuously moving forward on our journey, and really allowing the space for us to open up to new experiences, new ways of being, new directions in life. So this is really what I'm integrating from this death, and this concept of Gnosis, which is, from my understanding, is receiving knowledge from an internal source, receiving knowledge from your internal being. So really letting go of that which is on the outside of us, and tuning in and beginning to develop that profound relationship with yourself first and foremost, so that you can develop your relationship with the divine. And this is my priority at this time. This is my number one intention during this time. And I feel that it is a blessing that we have all this time to choose where we can direct our energy, where we can direct our attention, and what we can give our energy towards. And for me, that is really building my own personal relationship with God, building my own personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and working on that every single day, nurturing that every single day, because this is my way for me right now. So I just really wanted to share a little bit about my spiritual journey at this time, because it looks completely different than it would have looked a year ago, a couple of years ago. And I hope that through my sharing of this, it can encourage you to really follow your inner path and tune into yourself and know what is right for you, without necessarily holding on um, to anything. Without holding on to anything, we really can't be holding on to anything that we go through and that we experience, because life is always presenting in new ways, and we're continuously in this death, life, death cycle that is causing us to die to that which we've known, so that we may create space for things that are new and that are exciting. So, this entire journey with the Christ for me is very new in this lifetime. And it's really exciting because I feel so much more deeply connected to it, because these are my ancestors, and this is where I come from, and this is where this seed of my being um, has come from. So this is also why I chose to change my name from Shakti to Sophia, because Sophia is the feminine representation of Christ energy. So I wanted to share a little bit about that and let you guys know. So this is, as I've said, the 21st day of our daily live meditations. And it's just really an opportunity for me to come on, to share, to inspire. And the specific intention for these meditations is to inspire hope in people to connect with their own being, to sit with themselves, and to really learn and train their minds how to be with their moment to moment experience. This has been a profound pathway to the heart for me, and it is exercising the awakening of our heart space. So that my hope is, through these daily life meditations, you can also be inspired to really begin to sit with yourself, sit with all of your experiences, and become that witness, become the witness that is able to simply observe all that is arising through a non-attached, non-judgmental, accepting space of being, space of consciousness, which I believe from a personal experience is so, so important for all of us through any life experience to have those skills. So I really hope that you can, in addition to these live meditations and joining other people's meditations or offerings, which is so beautiful and so great, you can just take even 5 minutes out of your day just to be with your own self, with nobody else, and really explore that space from there, because there is this huge calling for all of us to come into our sovereignty, for all of us to come into our independence. And it is a beautiful stepping stone towards that sovereignty, is to begin to hold this space for ourselves. And of course, reaching out and getting support from others is also beautiful. And this is what we're here for. We're here for each other. We're here in this collective experience to guide one another home, to really support each other to the best of our ability, but at the same time, learning those essential skills so that we can support our own being, so that we can be there for ourselves when we may not have someone else in the physical realm present with us all the time throughout every single experience. So this is really my intention, is to inspire that and to help people get to a place where they can really begin to tune in for the purpose of coming into their sovereignty, coming into their being, learning to tap into their own inner resources, learning from those inner resources, and really being the support system that we all need at this time. So thank you all for joining me here today. It is my deepest pleasure, and I'm so grateful that I can show up in this way regardless of what I'm feeling throughout the day, even though I'm going through this tremendous death process and integrating, still being able to show up and just share what has worked for me personally. I have tremendous gratitude for that. So, thank you all for being here and for joining, for practicing with me, for sitting with me. I appreciate you all so very much. So, for those of you who are still here and would like to join our meditation, I would be so grateful to you. You can begin to come into a comfortable seated position. And just take a couple of moments to loosen up the spine, to begin dropping the awareness down into the body. And when you're ready, coming into a state of stillness, coming in to a comfortable position throughout which you can remain still for the time being to the best of your ability. So coming into a dignified, open posture, beginning to loosen throughout the body. So really noticing your shoulders and allowing them to release and to relax. Softening the space between your eyebrows and all of your facial muscles. Releasing your jaw. Softening your belly and opening your heart. We'll take a few moments to send deep breaths into our lower belly, to come into a relaxed state of being. So breathing deeply into the belly. Sighing out the mouth. A couple more times, taking a deep breath in. Sighing out the mouth. And one more time, deep breath in. And sighing out the mouth. Doing that as many times as you need to begin to regulate your central nervous system, to regulate your state of being, and allowing yourself to come into a more relaxed state. And always beginning our meditation with a grounding. Taking a moment to connect to those parts of the body that are making contact with the earth. Noticing the sensations behind that connection. Noticing what it feels like to have your feet on the ground or your sitting bones on the earth, the chair, wherever you may be, simply tuning in to your connection with the ground. We can begin to bring our awareness further down into the earth, dropping it lower and lower, tuning in to our earth. Feeling the space beneath us. and taking a moment to consciously give any energy that is not serving you at this time into the earth, imagining the energy maybe from your mind traveling down your body and being gifted to the earth underneath. Taking a moment to express your gratitude for our planet. And when you're ready, bringing your awareness back up into the body, starting with your toes. Taking this time to conduct a body scan. So, systematically using your conscious awareness to connect with each and every body part, starting from the toes, making your way up the legs, towards the hips, up the body, down the arms, and back up, towards the neck and the head. And just simply notice if your attention automatically is captured by any space throughout the body. Allowing yourself to give this attention to any of these spaces. And if there is a sense of tension or discomfort, you can feel free to consciously send your breath into these spaces and consciously releasing, letting go on the out breath. When you're ready, we'll come back to our natural breath. So simply allowing your breath to be as it is. Beginning to loosen from the grips of control. Letting go of any control. Letting go of any need to change that which is. Intentionally committing to observing that which is in a space of acceptance, in a space of non-judgment. And if judgment does arise, there is no need to judge that. Simply knowing all that is arising is natural, is automatic in nature, and simply happens. So we first need to accept all that is happening in order to alchemize and transform our experience. Begin to ground your awareness and your attention into the breath. Simply observing the breath as it comes into the body and observing the breath as it leaves the body. Feel your breath in your body in this moment. Where do you feel your breath? What does it feel like? Can you notice any subtle changes or shifts in your breath? And can we really cultivate at this time a sense of curiosity? Witnessing each breath as a brand new experience, one that has never been lived before. Allowing something seemingly mundane to shift into something profoundly miraculous. We do this by inviting curiosity and noticing, paying attention, observing as if our life depended on it. Know that it's okay if your mind is drifting away. Know that it's okay if you're having many thoughts. Allow for what is to simply be, and know that you are in charge of your attention, and you get to redirect it in each and every moment. But in order to do so, we must simply notice what is happening on a moment-to-moment basis. We must notice where our attention is going. And once we notice, we can redirect it and come back to the present moment by anchoring the awareness again and again within the breath. Feeling fully the in-breath and following completely the out-breath. Noticing the spaces in between. And as you continue to diligently watch each moment, to witness your experience with a softened heart, you may wish to take one portion of your awareness and drop it into the lower belly, the space below the navel. And dwell in this space. Allow the space to soften with each breath in. letting go of that which is not serving you with each breath out. Letting go of any attachments. Letting go of any control. And as you soften your belly with each breath in and let go with each breath out, can you begin to unarmor the heart space, to allow the heart space to melt open, to soften through the lower belly, softening through the heart, and maybe at this time, as you keep your eyes closed, lifting your gaze up towards your higher mind, your hairline, continue tuning in to the breath, to any activity of the mind, the body, and any emotions that arise. We take this time to hold space for our mental body by paying attention to each and every thought that arises, knowing that thoughts are simply thoughts. They may not have a basis in reality, and that ultimately we get to choose which thoughts we wish to empower. So at this time, simply allowing your thoughts to come and to go without becoming involved, and trying your best not to drift away. We hold space for our emotional body, noticing if we're feeling anything at this very moment. Allowing yourself to feel that which is. Allow the emotion to come, but also allow it to go without attaching to any specific experience. Holding space through non-attachment. Holding space for the entire physical body by paying attention to each and every message that is being sent to our conscious awareness in the form of physical bodily sensations. Holding space for our energetic body. Witnessing the sensations of energy flowing throughout this physical vessel. Tuning into our life force energy. And training the mind actively how to sustain its attention so that the space may be held for all of these bodies, for all of these aspects of our experience. And we do that by continually coming back to the breath, staying anchored in the breath as we observe and notice everything else coming into our conscious awareness and leaving our consciousness. Using the breath as an anchor into our being. Continuing to stay with your breath, with your softened belly, your open heart, your higher mind space. Continuously coming back to these points. as you maintain your connection to your breath, to your inner state of being, observing and witnessing. If you'd like at this time, you may say yes to receive an energetic transmission. Bridging together the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. And we do this each and every time we sit down to meditate. We begin to harmonize the mind, to bridge the left and the right side, to develop new neural pathways, and activate the higher mind. Build the strength of the prefrontal cortex. And decondition all that is not serving us, letting go of the deep imprints that cause us pain and suffering, rewriting our own program. And if you'd like at this time, you may wish to bring your palms to heart center. Taking a moment to tune into your heart space, to bow down in humble gratitude, surrender. Taking this time to thank all that is, to thank all of our experiences, all of the lessons, all of the trials and the tribulations which have led us to who we are today, which are filled with depth, wisdom, and knowledge. Expressing your gratitude for anything else that you feel grateful for. And when you're ready, beginning to rub your palms against one another. Placing them over your eyes. And coming back to the space in your own time. Maybe taking a few deep breaths just to let all of that go. to allow yourself to come back, to fill your entire being with so much oxygen and prana and life force energy. So thank you all so much for being here, for joining me on this journey, on this new journey that I'm exploring and figuring out every single day, and just really surrendering to this whole process and coming back again and again to this now moment. Um, yeah, this is the only place to be, and letting go of everything else that is not present right here and right now. So, in a deep state of trust and surrender and gratefulness to be here now with you all. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who is here, who participated. I'm so grateful for you and for your support. And I'm so happy to be here sharing the ways in which that I connect to my deeper self, the ways in which I process and begin to accept all that is, all that arises. So I appreciate you all very much, and wherever you are, know that you are deeply supported, you are deeply loved, you're deeply honored and appreciated, and that my hope is you can connect to all of these higher truths on a daily basis. Thank you for being here. Namaste.